speak. Don't wanna email, don't wanna meet. Man, don't care if your hair's on fleek. If you interrupt me, it will get peaked. Don't take it to heart.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. In this game, we'll see Toronto against Boston. Taking a look at the
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
It's Eastern, and let's go straight.
Thank you, Kevin.
And the Celtics, David, never one to rest on their laurels. Thanks for the report. Well, Chris, right around this time of year, these teams are trying to maneuver around the injuries they're being afflicted with. That's a tricky dance sometimes for these teams.
Oh, man, it's such a tricky dance, especially for the coach. How do you get your player rest? Is a player injured or hurt? How do you separate or define that? Because you never want a guy to play injured. And the length of the season, Kevin, it takes such a big toll. But that's what's so fair at the end of the season. Everybody's tired. Everybody's injured. Everybody must adjust. That's what makes the playoffs special. That's the wild card thrown in. Fatigue and injury, and how can you handle and adjust it?
Great answer. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So for Toronto right now, Pudley out there with Gordon. Then it's Chris Paul. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Musa in at the 2. Paul with the ball. 8 points his last outing. Musa passes to Paul. Pass to Musa. Top of the key. And he hits the jumper for 2.
And if you're playing in line, Chris Paul, you better have your hands ready. If you're open, he'll find you, or you're going to get hit in the head.
And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. Toronto on defense. Hayward outside. Ball against Lowry. Pass to Millsap. Prince outside. Clock at 4. Nice ball movement by Boston. And Lowry gets it to go.
And his touch inside more than makes up for Lowry's lack of size. He's a terrific finisher in the paint and doesn't miss many once he gets in tight. When you watch Kyle Lowry play, you see how much bigger he is than his stats. Does so many little things on both ends of the floor. I mean, he's a great screen setter, takes charges, all the things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but are important when it comes to winning.
For Boston, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. 1:52 left to play in the first quarter. For 3, and again, Boston with the triple.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Paul outside. Outside Gordon. The pass to Plumlee. Here's Musa, guarded by Horford. That's tipped. Paul for 3. That one, no good. Good work defensively by Millsap. Hayward outside. Passes it to Lowry. Horford high post. Fires top of the key. Musa grabs the miss.
The D a little slow to get in his face. They're fortunate it didn't cost him.
51 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Paul, and it comes off the front of the rim. Well, it was Toronto winning their last game against the Mavericks.
Playing on the road, always a challenge, but it becomes a heck of a lot easier when you can shoot the 3 ball the way they did.
Oh, no doubt. And when you're hitting a high percentage on the perimeter, everything becomes easy.
We've got 33 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Kicks to Gordon. There's 18 seconds left here in the opening quarter. And the shot no good, a bit short. Hayward right side. One second left. It's not going to go for him. And so it's Boston. Al Horford was born in the Dominican Republic, and he talked about
coming from a place where,
wanted to follow in his father's footsteps.
And what a career. College championships at Florida, an all-star in the NBA. I think he made the right choice.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Yeah, closing down the lane, closing out on perimeter shooters. Interesting first quarter.
So for Toronto right now, they've got Jimmy Butler, Pudley out there with Aaron Gordon. Then it's Chris Paul. And it's Musa in at the shooting guard position. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, last season started with that horrific injury to Gordon Hayward's leg. Now, it's been a long road back for him, but he took heart in the encouragement he received, not just from his family, but from so many well-wishers. He said, "You realize how lucky you are to have people from all over supporting you." Guys?
David, I think everyone is rooting for his complete recovery. Thanks for that report.
Very steady in-between game there for Butler. You don't want to let him get too many of those.
And Jimmy Butler's a very physical wing, as we know, Greg. Goes about 6'8", 240, and he can D up almost any position.
And the strength to deal with forwards, the quickness to cover guards. Also, he uses that strength to attack the rim and get himself to the line.
Boston shooting their first foul shot of the night. Everyone seems to suffer small injuries, C-Webb, over the course of a season. Who does the best, you think, at battling through those minor bumps and bruises and injuries and still continues to play well?
You know what, Kevin? I can't answer that question because whoever does it does not let us know also that they're hurt.
They hide it. Yeah, good point. You're right.
Because the main guys that get through it, they're not going to tell you.
Good point. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paul. Here's a look at what's coming up for Toronto. On Friday, they'll be facing Kyrie Irving and the Chicago Bulls. Then on Monday, they'll be playing against LaMarcus Aldridge.
And for that matchup with the Magic, on paper, you'd expect them to come away with the win, but this might be one of those trap games where they let it get away from them if they aren't focused.
Just 2 to shoot. Lowry inside the line.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Outside Butler. Knocked loose. Paul against Lowry. Paul finds Plumlee, and it's slammed in by Plumlee.
You don't lead the league in assists a bunch of times like Paul has unless you've perfected the pick and roll.
Lowry looking around, pass to Prince. 1:31 left in the first half. Boston again missing. Pass to Musa. Good, and Paul gets the assist. Paul's got his 4th assist in this one.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Now here's Horford. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Lowry dishes to Horford. Gordon against Prince. 3-pointer, Hayward, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Let's now go to a collection of the league's most clutch long-range shooters. Since All-Star, these are the best small forwards in basketball at the art of the three-point shot. The 4th spot held by Gordon Hayward.
I mean, you've got a dilemma when it comes to any of the guys on that list. Stay up tight on them on the perimeter, and you risk them blowing by you. But if you back off, you might get your feelings hurt.
Well, hurt in a big way, Greg. The damage they can do from three-point range is immense. I mean, there's some cold-blooded killers from long range.
Got that bucket in no time at all. Hayward's got his first points of the game.
he has a very good pull-up jumper. Hayward doesn't lose his touch when he shoots off the dribble.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Paul kicks to Butler. Shoots from the elbow. Yep, it counts. Butler's got his second bucket of the night.
Hey, look, he's not an easy man to defend. He'll get his points one way or another.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
And that's foul number 2. Maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Hayward on the wing. And some good action through the first 2 quarters. Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And we hope you enjoyed the Kyle Lowry has been the story in this one. He had 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. He's in a crazy zone right now and seems to be even hotter than he was in their last game. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far? And that'll do.
Welcome back to Boston, the buildings of the financial district visible in all their glory. Second half of basketball upon us. We may be in for an exciting finish based on how close of a game that's been so far. Kyle Lowry has just been sensational.
Oh, well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them, and really few forced shots here so far.
Terrific first half on offense. This is how you draw it up. We'll see if they can maintain that efficiency going forward.
We've got Paul Millsap, Hayward out there with Lowry. Then there's Horford. And it's Prince in at the small forward position. That's the group for Brad Stevens getting going here in the second half. Butler against Hayward. Butler passes to Gordon. And they're unable to get the tying basket there.
And looking at Prince's game, you know, he could be the ultimate complementary player. A good shooter, doesn't need a ton of touches, solid enough on defense, and is showing signs of improvement.
Well, he was just a skinny kid coming out of college. Hayward's gotten much stronger and much better in a short period of time.
And with Prince, his versatility between forward spots also is an asset to the team.
And when I call Prince a complimentary player, I didn't mean it as a slight. It just plays with an approach and style that fits well with any team and any leading scorer. Players like him tend to have a long, productive career in our league. And defensively, this is the opposite of how you want to start the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you spend all that time in the locker room trying to get mentally prepared. Then you come out, give up that.
And Chris Paul picks up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Stolen by Gordon.
And he was camped in just the right spot to swipe that pass away down low.
Count it, and the Celtic lead has been cut down to 1 on the bucket from Chris Paul.
So crafty inside. I mean, Paul's been successful for many years at challenging the heart of your defense.
Plumlee against Horford. Here's Hayward. Second shot opportunity. Horford, no luck.
That defense is as good as a block. I mean, what looks to be a layup turns into nothing.
Musa passes to Paul. When you were playing on the road, obviously the fans would yell things and, you know, try to get under your skin. C-Web, you remember any instance when it really bothered you and took effect?
Maybe when I would go home and play for the Pistons, I'd see some fan in a green and white, and maybe Steve Smith, my partner, paid him to be there. But, you know, the Michigan State fans, you know, the go blue or that type of thing. Or in Ohio, it's very funny, you know, in Ohio, if they want to boo, if they want to get the crowd pumped up, all they do is put a big Michigan M up there, and the crowd will go crazy and boo. So Ohio, usually my people in Ohio State, to Cleveland, they always, you know, had something to say. No, but it was more like, you know, you suck, Ohio State is the best, you know, Michigan State, you should have come here, that type of stuff. And you kind of look back, give a guy a wink, knock her down a jump shot, and put your fingers to your lips and just say, shh, you don't want to get me upset. Let sleeping dogs lie.
That's great.
Some very slack defending, playing with fire to leave him that open beyond the arc.
Musa passes to Paul. Gordon finds Butler. 5 to shoot. Musa, and he makes good on the layup. Musa's got 6 points.
How about the awareness there for Butler? The D goes to sleep, and Jimmy finds the wide open man.
Millsap looking it over. Horford dishes to Prince. No good, and they can't put an end to this drought. Toronto leading by 4. There's 49 seconds left in the third. Yep, that one goes.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
So the Celtics call timeout. They're first.
And when you take a look at that shot chart, the amount of misses lately, really unbelievable.
Man, this is a joke. I mean, there's been some glimpses of hope, but they've been few and far between.
Here's Millsap. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. The shot's good from Gordon Hayward.
And with that one, he halts an 11-0 run by Toronto. And 2 for 1, that's what they'd like to get right now.
Yeah, this could come down to the correct play call. Let's see what they do right here.
Here's Paul. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Paul's got the lead back up to 6 now for Toronto. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Outside Lowry. No good from outside.
Don't have to be in a hurry. They can hold for the last one.
No question. It's not easy to be patient, but you really don't want to give up an extra possession.
Over to the left wing. Butler in the corner. A three-pointer is right on target. And now a 9-point Toronto lead.
And everything they're attempting is going in. Tremendous run here in the third.
Well, I don't know what they talked about at halftime, but they found a weakness in the defense.
Jimmy Butler has been on display for Toronto. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And let's take this chance now to show you the State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Yeah, he put it on the platter, and it was served cold. Now, I love the poise, the decisiveness. This is how you run an offense.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. So for Toronto right now, we've got Plumlee, Aaron Gordon out there with Jimmy Butler. Then it's Chris Paul, and it's Musa in at the 2-guard spot. Shot is good, and the Toronto lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Kyle Lowry.
And somebody throw some cold water on Lowry. The man is on fire. He has taken this game over, and it doesn't look like he has any plans on slowing down.
Paul, and all around the rim that time before dropping in.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Outside Millsap. The pass to Horford. To the inside. And stolen by Butler. Here's Musa. Defended by Hayward. Plumlee, no luck.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Here's Prince. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got 5 rebounds tonight. And it's Paul with the ball for Toronto. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9. Gordon kicks to Butler. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And how about the strength inside there from Butler? Just excellent at finding ways to get the D to foul him down low.
And the second free throw, good. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Hayward on the wing. It's good.
All that work Hayward's done in the weight room has paid off. He can make those tough finishes through contact now.
Toronto leading by 8. And here is Paul. Passes it to Musa. Back to Paul. 6 to shoot. From downtown. Musa can't hit. Well, for the Celtics, this one not looking good. Prince, the pass to Horford. Millsap kicks to Hayward. Kicks it out to Prince. Lowry dishes to Prince. Hayward outside. Pass to Lowry. From deep, Prince. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry.
Defensively, you can't back off him that much. You don't want to give up easy threes at this stage of the game.
Ball against Lowry. Ball finds Plumlee. And at last, they get one to fall. And Toronto leads by 7.
Not completely over, but it's getting close.
Yeah, we know some crazy stuff happens out there, but everything would have to go their way for them to finish this off.
So it's Toronto now. After Gordon Hayward's miss, shoots from 14. Bank shot, no good.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
The shot by Lowry, no good. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And slam dunk by Butler.
And Butler knows how to take over games. Really good with his shot selection down the stretch.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 9. 24 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, Jimmy Butler.
And he's just been crushing it from the field tonight, Kevin. Whether it's been on open looks or with the guy draped all over him, he just hadn't missed much. With his percentage in the sky-high range, they've had no choice but to make him their #1 option on every trip.
Coming into this game, he had been having a tough stretch. We all know that, but not anymore. He's back at his best, and I think it's safe to say that slump is over. And he commits the intentional foul. And so they foul intentionally. He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead.
He's going to finish his career way up there on the all-time stillness. That's one thing I know about CP3.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over. They're trailing by 8. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
And this is what happens when you dig yourself a hole. It's hard to climb out of.
They can only blame themselves. A few missed opportunities, some miscues that they'd like to have back. It all adds up.
11 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here's Musa. And so it's Toronto winning this one. They came in here and took care. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us.
Time to bring the bass back. If they hating, got a price to pay.